Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the place where we burn oppression to the ground until it's just smoldering ashes and cinder. Because what comes out of ash? Everything, actually, all kinds of shit comes out of ash. But we can make new shit. Can you make new shit out of ash? We will try and see what happens. Let us do that. I'm so grateful you guys are here. Sorry, we are coming on the show a bit late. Y'all know Will had to go pick up and drop off all his kids. So he had to go to Baltimore. He had to ride all the way down to DC. Then he had a youngin' that he had to drop off in Virginia. So, Will busy out here. So our bad. We're here now, though, and we're glad that you guys are here with us, Fire Fam. Come on in here. Join us in the jam. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Shout out to everyone that's watching us over on Twitter at Burn It Down KB. I am aware that Twitter is making y'all aware that we're live over here. So thank you so much for that. Engage with us so we can big up our Twitter folks. Forever Twitter, by the way. Shout out to our good people over on Twitch. What's up, Rosalba? What's up, Northern Witch DD? How y'all feel at BIDWKB on Twitch? And I think we're on Facebook too and wherever. So anyway, but most importantly, we're on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Come on in here. Get on in here, Fire Famers. We got some special announcements to make. Special announcements. Everybody gather round. Gather round. As you all know, for the past month, where are we at? 7/12? Yes, the 12th of Kim. Today is the 12th of Kim 2024 because July is a synonym for me because it's my birthday month. So July is Kim. I am July. We are one and the same, correct? So 6 weeks ago, guys, we launched a fundraiser betwixt here and the Black Liberation Media Remix Morning Show crew. We were telling you guys we were raising money to help get Ricky Ryan from Black Alliance for Peace, Baltimore, a ride. If you follow us over on Black Liberation Media, y'all know Ricky Ryan is a co-host on Women's Wednesdays. She is also a very involved organizer in all kinds of issues and causes relating to the liberation of Black people, both here and abroad. And Ricky be everywhere. And come to find out, Ricky was every fucking where with no car. I said, how? How, Sway? How did you how are you down at the embassy in DC and then you up at the joint in Baltimore and then you out here and then out there? She was doing all this with no car, everybody. I said, this is unsustainable. So we launched the fundraiser. And guess what? Y'all responded within a month. Here I am sounding like Joe Biden. Within a month's time, we raised $5,000. A goal I thought was extremely lofty and ambitious, but you all said, no, Kim, we got this. And guess what, you guys? Last night, 7-Eleven, roll it twice, at Nomu, we as a community, y'all too, y'all wasn't there, but y'all was there in spirit. we presented Ricky with the revolutionary ride. I'm gonna play a clip from brother Latif, aka Kolahis Mahes, was deeply involved in this entire process. For those who do not know, brother Latif is a very skilled and gifted mechanic with some have dubbed him the car whisperer, because he'd be watching them auctions and be pulling out the gems. And that's exactly what happened for Sister Ricky. So here's Latif on we found this on IG. Look, go ahead and run the video, Will. Go ahead and run the video, Will. Run the video. Did we just do this? We just did this. Go ahead and run the video. So anyway, go follow Latif. Oh wait, I think Will got it. Go ahead.
On my way. Well, hold on. How am I supposed to start a song? Stardate. Stardate is June July 2024. T-minus 1 day until we reveal the rare ride, revolutionary ride for Ricky. The Batmobile is about to come through. I'm on my way, walking these dangerous streets. Look at these tree line dangerous streets. I'm out here for the cause. Out here for the cause. Go pick up Ricky's ride. Had to get that AC recharged. It's the little things, man. It's the little things that make this shit happen. Come on. I'm about to set the fire off on this shit.
Yo, shout out to Brother Latif. Go follow him on Instagram. I believe that's his men's mobile auto care page. I'm gonna run all this down for everybody on Tuesday on the Remix Morning Show because, like I said, we did present Ricky with the ride. I did not take pictures nor video because I wanted to be present in the moment. Some folks did capture some video, so be watching Ricky's page on IG or her socials, wherever you follow her at, and see if she posts about it. But I wanted to thank everybody that sent money, that sent multiple monies. Freddie French. And I know lots of people sent money. Shout out to everyone that dropped all denominations from $5 to $500. It was a team effort. 100 donations or their roundabouts, and we got 5 G's up to get Ricky a revolutionary ride. So I'm gonna have a report. Don't look for no PowerPoint and shit. I'm just gonna tell y'all what the fuck we spent the money on. That's gonna be the report. Y'all can write the shit down if you feel like it. But I'm gonna do that on Tuesday on the Remix Morning Show. So we can have an accounting, right? Like, you guys entrusted me and Latif to be the stewards of this fundraiser, to make sure not only that we delivered what we said we was going to deliver, but it's something that Ricky likes and enjoys and finds useful and finds utility out of, and that she's pleased with and that she's satisfied with. So be looking for that on Tuesday. But I just wanted to thank you guys. Thank you all, Fire Fam, remixers, for answering and heeding the call. You heeded the call. Ricky got the BAP mobile. BAP. Big up to the Black Alliance for Peace. BAP Baltimore was out there with them last night to deliver the ride. And I'm very glad, we came through for BAP Baltimore, because I didn't want to get jumped by BAP Baltimore. if we did not come through with the revolutionary ride, I said, these BAP Baltimore kids might jump me. Let me get my shit together. But it's fine. It worked out. It was glorious. Big up, shout out to Ricky, shout out to Jamila, shout out to Goddess Crew. Who else was out there? Shout out to the brother Petros. I'm sorry, brother, if I'm messing up your name, but you know who you are. So thank you guys so much for all that you do and for all that. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into this program. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown, Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. BIDWKB, Instagram, Twitch at Burn It Down KB, on Twitter. What's up with y'all, mans? You seen your boy Slow Joe out here? Slow Joe Biden is out here going from looking terrible to looking worser. Okay. After the debate debacle, which I still say it was a debate debacle for both candidates. Everybody just seemed to be focused on Biden somehow, because Trump was able to project his incoherence in a more stronger, more forceful way. Somehow Trump is not being regarded as incoherent as Biden, but okay, whatevs. But Joe said, you know what? All my little imperialist friends are in town for the NATO summit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in my party is trying to embarrass me out here, calling for my ouster. Fuck that. I'm standing 10 toes down for now. For now. But let's do up. When I say a tiny recap, I mean tiny, because I know you guys have seen most of these clips, but when I just feel like they need to be share it again for context. Well, if you could cue up Joe Biden introducing Ukrainian President Zelensky at the NATO summit, just to give you all an idea about how slow Joe has gotten slower. Now, let me be clear here. Some of y'all might be like, well, Kim, why are you calling him slow? Isn't that ableist? Isn't that maybe ageist? It is both of those things. That is correct. And I intend to be all ableist and all ageist towards Joe Biden. You know why? Because he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? You try not to be isty. You don't be ableist or racist or sexist or, ageist. You don't do that for people you respect. You know what I'm saying? Or for strangers, people you don't know. Like, don't be out here, Judge. Don't be out here being ableist for strangers, disabled or otherwise, that you don't know. No, we know Joe Biden. And in fact, we know him all too goddamn well. So a pox on him, his health, his mental acuity, all that shit. We're gonna be ableist and ageist against Joe Biden here. And just let karma and nature do its thing. You know what I'm saying? When people are shit in real life, it catches up with them at some point. None of us can know the way though. So here's one way. So again, after that terrible debate performance, Biden was at the NATO summit, somehow not sounding better. Let's take a look at this clip.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. We're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Uh-huh.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Спасибо, пожалуйста, Mr. President. Thanks so much for getting me confused with my mortal enemy, Vladimir. This nigga didn't know Zelensky from Putin. Now, I know he knew that was Zelensky and not Putin. But again, Joe Biden seems to have difficulty ordering things from his brain. By the time they make it to his mouth, it's a wrap, right? It's a wrap before it even takes off. And I have to laugh again because that entire scene there, even that short few seconds, was all Emperor's New Clothes energy, right? Who the fuck clapped? This nigga said, I'd like to introduce y'all the president of Ukraine, President Putin. And he got a smattering of applause. It's like, wait. Why are y'all clapping for errors? Why are we clapping for erroneous information? Why are we clapping when we see that this man has clearly made a ginormous mistake? Now, in Joe Biden's defense, in that moment, he was able to catch himself, right? I'm assuming he called himself. Now, part of me believes that he has someone he has some sort of IFB. He has some sort of wireless earpiece in which, who the fuck? Corinne Jean-Pierre, who the fuck? I don't know. Who is his chief of staff? I don't even fucking know. Whoever is in his ear trying to make on-demand, like real-time corrections to the shit that he says. But the White House decided, no. Not only are we going to double down on trotting out diminished Joe Biden for the international audience, of the NATO allies that were assembled here in DC this week. They said, you know what? Actually, let's do this. Let's go ahead and schedule a almost prime time, 6:30 in the evening. Let's say, but not past Pop's bedtime. What did I tell y'all? Hold on, time out real quick. The last time I was on here bombing on Biden, what did I say about the debate? I said that they knew good and goddamn well that 81-year-old man was not going to be able to perform at any level, at any level of goodness, fuck greatness, at any level of a bare minimum averageness at 9:00 at night. Who are they fooling? You can't put 80-somethings. The only 80-something that was partying past 9:00 was fucking Hugh Hefner. Okay. And he was probably on lots of drugs. And they need to put Joe Biden on them same drugs. He needs some meths in his system, regardless. Anyway, but what did the White House come out and say after the debate, y'all? They said that the president is going to limit his evening activities not to go beyond 8 p.m. I said, look at a prescient queen, me. y'all, I told y'all I'm a common senseologist. I lack all the prefixes and suffixes of doctor and PhD. Nigga, I'm a common senseologist. I saw that shit clear as day. You can't be putting this nigga on at 9 o'clock at night and expecting him to do good and sound, coherent. That's not gonna happen. So what? All the president's activities cut off at 8 o'clock. I said, look who's watching the show. the Biden White House. How y'all doing? Fuck y'all niggas. Anyway, the press conference. And let me say this real quick before I play the clip about the press conference. Presidents used to give regular press conferences. It is with these last two presidents, Biden and Trump. It started with Obama. Obama started to tail that shit off. Here's where I'm going with this. I used to watch in the year 2000, really almost 2008. I mean, I watched a lot of fucking W. Bush. Okay, I hated him so bad, and in my political infancy, I wanted to know what the fuck Bush was talking about, not to understand it per se. I wanted to be aware of what he was saying and how he was saying it, right? Because up until Trump, we thought Bush was the dumbest fucking thing to ever occupy the Oval Office. Y'all, in 2001, what was the conversation? Surely there would not be a president dumber than this nigga, right? Oh, how we lacked imagination. So anyway, Bush addressed the media every week, like without fail, every fucking week, except when he was on vacation, which was most of the fucking time down in Crawford, Texas on the ranch. That nigga was on vacation. He didn't address the media. But when he was in DC, Bush would address the media weekly, and he hated it. And you could see his whole body language, his whole affect. This nigga did not want to come into the press office, into the press room and take fucking questions. The last fucking thing he wanted to do, but he did it, right? Terribly, horribly, but he did it. Obama started to trail that off because he was getting so many questions from far right wing that were being granted press passes, and he was, constantly have to fend off red state reporters. And Obama got sick of this shit. He was like, I ain't doing this no more. And then the only reason Trump addressed the media with regularity or some sort of frequency was because of the COVID crisis. But Biden has not addressed the press corps in a setting that he is able to answer and receive questions in a controlled setting in 8 months. And I was always really kind of befuddled by that. Like, why is reporters only always screaming questions at Biden as he's walking to and from the fucking helicopter? Like, that's the only time you got a comment from the president about something is when he's walking from the helicopter to the helicopter. All you hear is the helicopter. I'm like, why is this the standard? Who is accepting this? So in an effort, I guess, to show that he's still the fucking president, here come the White House. All right, we're going to roll Joey out at 6:30 in the evening and make him available for unscripted. And this nigga was terrible. He sounded terrible. Now, this is the clip we're about to play. Will, if you could cue up the press conference clip. Now, I'm sure you all have seen this because he mixed up the name. He was referring to Kamala, but said Trump, right? Well, what I want y'all to listen to is the question that prefaced that, right? And let this whole performance be an example of why all of this shit, especially in America, needs to fall the fuck down. Because the question in itself is not, I think, serious enough, reflecting what is at stake with Biden himself personally. And Will, I might ask you, put me down in the corner. Go ahead and pull up the clip, because I might ask you to pause it at a certain point and let me interject. So let's go ahead and make sure we start this from the beginning, please. And we can roll it whenever you are ready, my good sir.
I'll take your questions. I've been given a list of people to call on here. Reuters, Jeff Mason.
Reuters.
Mr. President, your political future has hung over the NATO summit a little bit this week. Speaker Pelosi made a point of suggesting that your decision on whether to stay in the race was still open. George Clooney and a handful of lawmakers have called on you to step aside.
Pause
Reuters
right
is
there.
reporting tonight that UAW leadership.
So you heard the question. First question of the press conference coming from Reuters, a reputable, established news agency, international even. Here come this nigga from Reuters. Mr. President, George Clooney said you fucked up in the game. What do you have to say to George Clooney? Now, this is where I get upset, right, at the media. I understand George Clooney is a prominent Democratic donor who has supported the president in the past, who recently penned a New York Times opinion piece expressing tremendous concerns about the president's mental, cognitive ability and blah blah blah. Why is the president of the United States being asked about what the fuck George Clooney got to say about the situation? This is where the media is in this country, right? If we're talking about our democracy, the media wants to convey to the president that the actors are concerned. Sir, the members of the Screen Actors Guild have expressed tremendous the skepticism and a lot of trepidation around how you're doing out here. Who gives a fuck what George Clooney got to say about the situation? Mention Pelosi, mention the Congress people. I think that's very fair. But just to let y'all know that the media has absolutely transposed politics and celebrity, right? And what a celebrity has to say about a president should hold as much sway to him as what members of his own party should say. And I guess maybe in some way that's true because fucking Clooney is a big donor. So I guess maybe it's not wrong to put Clooney in the same sentence as Nancy Pelosi. He actually might have somewhat sway, but I just kind of thought that was ridiculous. But anyway, Will, let's go ahead and resume the clip so we could all get a little sniggle at Joe Biden's continued decline.
Concerned about your ability to win.
UAW just endorsed me, but go ahead.
Thank you. My question for you is, how are you incorporating these developments into your decision to stay? And separately, what concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
Let's start there.
The fact is that
this nigga said he really thought he did
consideration
right
is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again. Secondly, the idea, I served in the Senate a long time.
Unfortunately,
The idea that senators and congressmen running for office worry about the ticket is not unusual. And I might add, there are at least 5 presidents running or incumbent presidents who had lower numbers than I have now, later in the campaign. So there's a long way to go in this campaign. And so I'm just going to keep moving. And because, look, I got more work to do. We've got more work to finish. There's so much, we've made so much progress. Think about it. Think about where we are economically relative to the rest of the world. Name me a world leader who wouldn't want to trade places with our economy. We've created over 800,000 manufacturing jobs, 1.5 million, so things are moving. We got more to go. Working class people still need help. Corporate greed is still at large. The corporate profits have doubled since the pandemic. They're coming down. And so I'm optimistic about where things are going.
All righty. So let's unpack a couple things out of that rambling answer that the president just gave. When he gave that incomplete answer about all the jobs created, what was the number he said? I think he started to say 1.5 million and he trailed off. But what's interesting about the unemployment numbers in this country is that a lot of non-mainstream economists truly believe that all of these numbers are phony and fake, right? Like, why is it that the Biden White House speaks so much about all the economic progress that has been made while Biden has been in office, and yet people, everyday folks, working folks, don't really seem to feel that progress? And I know folks that over the last few years were looking for jobs, right? The narrative was, oh, there's so many jobs. All these companies are hiring. People just don't want to work. People are lazy. They don't want to come back to work after the pandemic. At the same time, there was a lot of people intensely looking for work, applying to tens, if not dozens of jobs and not getting hired. Yet the Democrats and Biden specifically tout how many jobs, millions of jobs have been created. Well, that is a phony sort of play on words. It's an interesting phraseology when they talk about jobs created. The way that corporate America and the Department of Labor kind of work together to formulate these Bureau of Labor statistics as it pertains to unemployment data. What ends up happening is that these companies will create jobs, literally create job postings, create requirements, create pathways to apply, but they have no intentions of ever filling the job, right? They literally created a job that no one is ever going to work. And they report these created jobs to the Department of Labor and to their, their state agency, which gives them some sort of boost or credit or some sort of incentive to continue to create jobs on paper, meanwhile not actually filling these jobs. So when the president and his lackeys get out there talking about they've created millions of jobs, no, nigga, the right question is how many jobs how many jobs have been taken? How many people have now found themselves in these jobs? Not how many postings of empty blank positions that are ne'er to be filled. No, how many people that were once unemployed are now employed? And by the way, the unemployment numbers are all very fudgy and phony anyway, because, for example, people who are disabled are not counted amongst the unemployed, right? Now, if you were to add all the disabled folks into that unemployment number who are of, I suppose, whatever working age is, that unemployment number would look a little different. Maybe not all that great. So Biden is standing on a phony record here, at least when it comes to the economy and it comes to jobs. Nigga, you ain't created shit. You have created an incentive. You have incentivized corporate America to make it seem as though they are not able to fill a myriad of positions when they are not interested in filling these positions. They're interested, in fact, in making sure that people that they already have employed are doing the workload of 2 and 3 folks, right? Are doing 2 and 3 additional extra jobs outside of their established position, right? Because corporations, in fact, do not want to fill these positions. They like working on skeleton crews, they like to overwork everybody. What else did Biden say there that was an out and out lie? Oh, well, when he talks about the progress, everybody, the progress that has been made under the Biden administration, I'm assuming, is he mean the progress of the genocide of the Palestinian people? Is that the progress that he's speaking of? Is he talking about the progress of continuing to expand the military industrial complex, the progress of making sure that Boeing, Raytheon, who them other niggas? What's them other terrible niggas that do shit that drop terrible bombs, the Black Rocks, all of these, private industrial complex, these niggas that they're making progress? Is this the progress that Joe Biden is referring to? I don't know what progress he's fucking talking about. And it's really puzzling to me that this president and his I can't even think these days. What's the word I'm trying to say? His subordinates, these Bama's like, I need specifics on this Biden, on this Biden first term. Oh, that was the other thing that he said in that answer that is incorrect. I think he made mention of his poll numbers. And I think he said the incumbent whatever he said was mistaken. Okay, for the first time in almost 20 years, I think since Bush W was going for re-election as the incumbent in 04. This is the first time that the Republican candidate has been ahead in the polls at this point during the campaign, right? In 20 years, not the first time ever, but the first time in a long time. Democrats for the president have been leading since up until now. That this is how bad Joe Biden is doing. And I love the fact that there is all of this, you know, Julius Caesar and Brutus intrigue, because everybody seemingly has their knives out for the president. Everyone within the Democratic Party. Not everyone, though. Oh, I said everyone, but I meant a lot of folks. 9 congressional Democrats, and I think the first senator has come out and asked for Biden to bow out of the race. The junior senator from Vermont. What's his name? Welsh? Some white. I don't fucking know. Well, I guess they all whites. All the whites have come out and asked for Joe to step aside. None of the Congressional Black Caucus. Isn't that funny? Anybody in the squad? I'm even looking for Rashida Tlaib. So I have a feeling Rashida Tlaib, surely Rashida Tlaib has told Joe Biden to go fuck himself openly, right? And they're just not reporting it. I just must be missing it. Like I see all the 9 House representatives plus this one senator now. I think they have all been the whites except for one. Maybe a Hispanic congressperson, but rest of them have been white. Pop up that WSWS.org article for me, Will. The World Socialists took an interesting take. Well, number one, they did a good job of perfectly stating the obvious here, that despite all of these calls from party Democrats for Joe Biden to step aside or consider making way for a new candidate, all of these calls are based off of Joe Biden's performance and not his policies, right? None of the folks calling for Biden to step aside have any issue with how much arms continue to be sent to Israel to continue to enact a genocide against people in Gaza, right? Like none of the people calling for Biden to step aside have an issue with that, right? None of the people calling for Biden to step aside have an issue with Joe Biden denying asylum claims to refugee seekers coming across the southern border. Like none of them have a problem with that. None of them have a problem with the increased fracking that's going on in this country, accelerated, by the way, by the Obama administration under, while Biden was right there, skinning and grinning. Like niggas ain't got shit to say about that. They're saying that Biden can't win. That's it. Nobody has an issue. Like he's perfectly cognizant, I suppose, to oversee or assist in the genocide of the Palestinians. But when he comes up there on that debate stage, if he can't articulate his support of that genocide well, then that's the problem. That's the issue that we have here. And it just goes to show you, everybody, the lesser of two evils is always going to be evil. There is no choice for good. Who is good on the ballot? Zero. Well, none of the two-party candidates anyway. But if you think that Biden getting off the ticket is going to change shit in Palestine, it's not. If you think it's going to change shit on the ground for undocumented migrants here, it isn't. If you think it's going to change anything for the conditions of working folks in this country, it isn't. Whether it's Biden, Kamala, or fucking Trump. Okay? And I understand all the fear mongering around Project 2025 and all this shit. And it's like, guys, whatever you think about Project 2025, you can look back in the not so distant history of some of the policies that the authors of the Project 2025 wanted to get accomplished, and you will find Democratic accomplices to those ends, some of which include Joe fucking Biden. And by the way, Joe Biden, you guys, I was looking this up because I was trying to find, because I'm so happy that Joe Biden is falling off a cliff very publicly very clumsily, very loudly. Like, I love this. Like, in the same way that I'm loving to see at least the public dismantling of Diddy, that it's everywhere, that everybody knows it. Like, whether or not Diddy actually goes to jail, I kind of don't care. Like, this nigga's reputation is in ruins. It is in tatters. Like, he donezo out here. I don't care how the karma happens. I'm just happy to see the fucking shit happen. Same shit with Joe Biden. I love this humiliation. I love that he's getting stabbed in the back. Joe Biden has been a good old boy for the Democrats for 50 fucking years. And look, Joe Biden, it be your own niggas. It be your own niggas, don't it, Joe Biden? It be your own fucking niggas. Where was I going here? I was about to say something and then I got excited. I was about to say something else and then I got excited. What's that on the screen, Will? Oh, that's the WSWS article. Oh. Now, in the Socialist article, they make an interesting suggestion. So they have covered in the past what they call the CIA Democrat caucus within the House. Because in 2018, there were a number of specifically Democratic congressional candidates who won a number of House seats, and they either came from the Pentagon, they came out of the CIA, they came out of the FBI, and a majority, or at least, a quorum. Am I using quorum right? I don't know. There's 8 of these Bamas in this caucus that have, and again, they don't call themselves the CIA Democratic Caucus. The World Socialist characterizes them as that, and that's fine. But the members of this particular caucus are the ones that have come out and asked for Biden to step down. And that to them signals that, the deep state or the CIA or the real powers that be in this country, the people who really are the drivers of, quote, democracy in America, right? The real folks want Biden to step aside. And I love this. I love all of this. Embarrass Joe Biden. He's a terrible fucking person. Oh, that's where I was going. I'm sorry. Now I just remember my train of thought. So I wanted to bring up some evidence. I mean, you guys know Joe Biden's a terrible person. We all have, we've seen the clips of Biden as a younger senator with an equally terrible hairline back in the day, touting, the 94 crime bill. But I was trying to find clips of Biden in 2005 advocating for the law that Republicans passed prohibiting consumers to declare their student loans as part of their bankruptcy filings, right? To separate student loans out of regular consumer debt so that folks could not fold their defaulted student loan payments into the rest of their consumer debt, meaning that your student loans will follow you around forever until you die, right? Joe Biden sided with the Republicans when he was a powerful Democratic senator in 2005. He sided with the Republicans to make sure that got passed. And then here come this motherfucker in 2019, Johnny come lately like shit, trying to push, I'm going to forgive the student loans. Up. Too late, nigga. you the one who helped to saddle us with these student loans for life. And now here you come as a weak ass president trying to erase student loans, but the Republicans still got too much power and you can't side with them this time. Anyway, I hate Joe Biden with a passion. I love to see the public dismantling of Joe Biden. I am even giddier to see that the Democrats are doing a lot of this to themselves. If they think they're going to have a new candidate to trot out in Chicago by August, nigga, who? who? Y'all got Westmore warming up in the bullpen? Like, who we talking about here? Gavin Newsom? Who we talking about? Kamala? Who we talking about? You have thinned your bench to the point, Democrats, that now you looking down the bench and you ain't got nobody. You got nobody. Who was one of them old NBA niggas who just retired? You know what? Let me shut up. My analogy is not going to be swift today. But you got nobody, 0 people. And the thing is, Trump is building momentum. Now, I have a feeling that Trump, when he does win the election, because I have a feeling that he will win, it's not because he's going to get more votes, as it were, because to be honest, that every Republican that has won the presidency has only won so via an electoral victory, not via the popular vote, right? So Trump, Biden still might get more votes, maybe, but I just think Trump is going to lose because of indifference, right? People are going to come out and vote, and they're not going to vote for president. That's it. I have a feeling we're probably going to see a record voter turnout. I think more people are going to turn out to the polls, and people are just not going to vote for president. And all the political pundits and all the cable news networks are going to be befuddled. Be like, wait a minute, we're confused. They had 80% turnout in da 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 da, and yet duh, 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 duh. How did this happen? Because people are going to go out and leave that presidential boxes unchecked and unfulfilled because of how transparent it is that you are not going to get anything that is going to benefit you materially voting for either one of these candidates. Okay. If you vote for Biden, what you're going to get is just not Trump. And you hear the Biden campaign use that kind of language sometimes too. They talk about, oh, well, the president, for example, when it comes to his health, the president has had these physicals. He's, revealed more information about his health than the other guy, than the last guy. And it's like, is Trump the bar now? Like, is if Biden can only measure himself against Trump, bitch, y'all niggas might as well throw in the towel. like make it make sense. You got the Biden campaign is measuring themselves against literally the worst person. Well, I don't know about worst person. I'm sure George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Woodrow Wilson and Andrew Jackson. Well, Trump, I don't know. He's got good company. It's a horse race as to who is the biggest presidential piece of shit. But you got to put Trump up there. He's got to be in the top 5 at least, right? Right. Like y'all measuring yourself against one of the worst presidents of all time and saying, at least we're not him. At least we're putting out more information than him. At least our policies are not him. Get the fuck out of here. Let me take a break. Let me take a little break. What time is it? Oh, it's 8:30. Okay, yeah, let me get out. Oh, let me see if I can get in the chat and say what's up to y'all. Hey, real quick, everybody. Tomorrow is Saturday, the 13th of Kim. So every second Saturday of the month, we have our disability support chats. We call it a disability support sesh. And we've been doing this for a couple years now. I put the information, or I will, tomorrow on our community section. You can also find it on patreon.com/BIDWKB. And we want you to come hang out. If you're a disabled person, one of our out of every 4 people living in this country has a disability of some kind, visible or invisible. Or if you're a disabled adjacent person, you have disabled people in your life, or you're a caregiver, you should come and hang out with us. We appreciate all of those that have participated in the disability support sesh, we call Around the Fire Disability Support Sesh. Anna Hart, Mama Lorraine, Learn Life Abby have been our very wonderful, capable, compassionate, brilliant, curious, informative, and informed. They have been our amazing facilitators for the past couple of years. I'm so appreciative and grateful and touched that such folks are part of this community. So I want to thank Anna, Mama Lorraine, and Learn Life Abby for that. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Around the Fire Disability Support Sesh, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Check the BIDWKB community section tomorrow, because y'all know I'm late and shit. I be putting shit up the day of because I'm trifling. But it'll get up. It will get up. So join us tomorrow for that. Hold on. Let me get into the chat here. Let's see if YouTube is not going to be a hoe. And let me, can I say something about YouTube for a second? And I know YouTube punishes me when I criticize them. Fuck them. I don't care. Because YouTube, you think you're not corporate media, right? You think that somehow you're a better repository for, people's voices and such. Well, your search algorithm is absolutely garbage. And the fact that I could not easily, and I feel as though it should have been an easy search, easily been able to find clips from Senator Joe Biden about the consumer bankruptcy legislation from 2005. Those are the search terms I'm putting in on YouTube directly. And it's like bringing me up shit that's a year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. And when I try to search the filters for the upload date, it only allows you up until this past year. You know, you can search up until this year, this week, this month, this day. And I'm like, this is YouTube. You've been around now for a couple decades. Like, I should be able there in one of these upload date search filters, one of these options should say videos older than 10 years or more than 10 years old, more than 5 years old. Like, I'm looking for old shit, YouTube. Like, you're supposed to be an online library of sorts. Like, you're the digital fucking repository. Why do you make it so hard to find old shit? Like, shit basically that is of the historical record. Now, I know I could have not been a lazy bitch and just gone to fucking C-SPAN. I understand that. I'm getting weeded now. Look, I know I contradicted myself. Look, I don't need that now. Okay. But my point is, YouTube and Google supposed to be the fucking hot shit. Y'all supposed to be the 21st century shit, the leading edge of technology shit. But this ain't the leading edge of nothing. If I can't search videos more than 10 years old, when I know y'all got videos up here old as shit. I'm looking for old shit, YouTube. Stop running me the latest fucking thing from ABC News. Like, and that's the other thing. YouTube done did all this censorship. They done took off Sputnik. They done took off our homies. They done took off Free Press. Who else they took off? Xinjiang News, the Chinese niggas, like they done took off a lot of the non-American, non-Western media. So when I'm searching for whatever, I get the ABC News, NBC, CBS, CNN. I don't want any of that, actually. Like, and YouTube is presenting these motherfuckers up to me as though they are the credible news sources. No, madam. YouTube, you fucking you corporatized media piece of shit on that Google bullshit. What you think you cutting edge out here? You're not even a good. You can't even search your shit good. YouTube, get on my fucking nerves. And see, look at this bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get into my goddamn chat. I can't even get into the motherfucker. Is this me? Oh no, that's from fucking the other show. Ain't this a bitch? So you know what? Anyway, shout out to y'all, the real MVPs, the Fire Fam in the building. Now, guys, hold on. Let me get into my doc because this next story is a bit of an environmental justice story. It's also a story of ongoing resistance versus the colonizers. Do me a favor, everybody. Hit like on the video. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We do this every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us places around the internet at BIDWKB. So I came across this clip today, and it was from a public hearing being held, I believe, on the big island of Oahu in Hawaii. God, that's so annoying. Why are the people gathering in Oahu for public meetings about environmental impacts? Well, as you guys know, Hawaii was annexed by the United States government in 1898. It formally became a state in 1959. Whole time, the Hawaiians have been saying to the Americans, can you please get the fuck out? Can y'all please pack y'all shit and get the fuck out, right? Whole time. Now, what Hawaii also is a strategic point for the U.S. military's Pacific operations, right? We know Pearl Harbor is there. That's where the Japanese bombed. That got the U.S. formally into World War II. But there has been there's a Marine base there, Army base. There's a lot of shit down there in Hawaii. And the military does a lot of real world drilling. For a long time, they were actually even doing war exercises using live ammunition. And the Hawaiians on the island have been saying that all of these munitions, all of this weapons testing, I think they had even tested some uranium based weapons in Hawaii. The Hawaiians have been saying, you have been polluting our island. You have been our islands. You have been polluting the water, the soil, the air, the plants, the animals. You have been polluting all of this with your weapons of war and your training for war. Now, what I did just discover is that the United States military, I think this is specifically the Army, but the US military, the Pentagon, has been leasing thousands, tens of thousands of acres of Hawaiian land. And they were able to do so for the low sum of $1. So it turns out that the United States Army's land lease in Hawaii expires in just a few short years, and that the Army is trying to extend those land leases because it argues that Hawaii and these military bases are so critical for training of real world war theater kind of operations, right? So I want us to take a look. Let's see, where shall we begin here? Well, let's go with that Hawaii News Now piece, even though it says Hawaii News app, but I think it's Hawaii News Now. And the Army is trying to convince the people that they are now sensitive to the quote environmental justice needs of the Hawaiian folks, and that they're going to do better and like be better. Like, if you let us lease this land again and let our Marines and our infantry train here on your island, you know, we promise we won't pollute as much. We'll try to keep, you know, all the bullets and uranium. We'll keep that shit, you know, we'll knock that down just a smidge if it'll shut y'all up. But let's try to get caught up on this story. So Will, let's go ahead and check out the piece from Hawaii News Now.
Should the U.S. Army give back 2,000 acres of state land that it's been leasing for decades?
It's one of several options up for discussion over several nights of public meetings. Our Mehealani Richardson joins us now with the latest.
Well, Stephen Kiahi, the Army's leases were signed in 1964 for $1 to the state and expire in 2029. Now, over 3 nights, the Army wants to hear from the public on its draft environmental impact statement, and it's sure to get an earful. It has a designated free speech section outside the meetings for protests.
The U.S. government leases about 6,300 acres of land from the state at the Makua Military Reservation, Kahuku Training Area, and Kawailoa Poamoho Training Area near Schofield Barracks. In its draft environmental impact statement, the Army looks at 3 alternatives. 1, retaining all of the land, 2, retaining most of it, and thirdly, retaining only 162 acres in Makua while giving up Kahuku and Poamoho.
What that tells us is that they don't need these training areas, and that they can actually easily let these leases sunset and take no action. The people here in Oahu, we need them more.
But the Army says its preferred option is to retain roughly 66% of the land at all 3 sites.
The Army has really taken a very deliberate and thoughtful look at the parcels that are currently being used to understand and to be very deliberate about what lands in the end that are sought to be retained.
In its draft EIS, the Army says, quote, loss of the state-owned lands would result in impacts on mission-critical training because the Army would no longer have access to these maneuver areas and infrastructure on state-owned lands. But it also concedes, quote, continued loss of INA represents a disproportionate and a long-term significant adverse impact on communities with environmental justice concerns.
The draft EIS is pretty much an admission of guilt by the U.S. Army.
Really, we're listening to the comments. We are here to listen. The Army is.
The proposed EIS does not look at the number of years for a potential lease or a dollar amount. That would be negotiated with the state. Live fire training at Makua stopped in 2004. The only live fire training is at Pohakuloa on Hawaii Island and Oahu's Schofield Barracks. The public comment period ends August 7th.
Now, tonight's meeting begins in an hour at the Waianae District Park Multi-Purpose Room. For information about Wednesday and Thursday's meetings, plus a link to the draft EIS, you can go to our website.
Yep. So pay attention to this fight, everybody, because this is a land back kind of fight, right? The Hawaiians are saying that the U.S. military has occupied these precious areas, right, for literal decades at the contemptible sum of just $1 of land lease. Like, and just think about that for a second. The United States government and the United States military, multi-billion, trillion-dollar entities, right, was able to permanently poison and contaminate Hawaii's soil, air, water, wildlife, fauna and fauna, right, for 70 plus years, 100 years, whatever the years, lots of years, decades, multi-decades, multi-generations for $1. That's the value that capitalism actually places on not only human life, but actual life of the globe, of the planet, right? If it's available for them to destroy, then they consider it worthless, right? Or just for the sum of $1. Yeah. So this is where where we get a little interesting here, because you guys know that my latest obsession is like listening to regular folks. And guess what? A lot of activists, organizers are themselves very regular people, and they come to tell the powers that be all about themselves. So, Will, I have two clips here. So the two clips, Will, let's just run them joints back to back, because as you heard in the package there, because this is happening this week, the week of July 11th, 11th, 12th, 10th, whatever they did, they had the public comment, but they've been having these public comment sessions in Hawaii, these environmental impact statement sessions towards the U.S. Army. I don't know if it's the U.S. Corps of Engineers or if it's the U.S. Army proper. Regardless, they have sent some people around to these listening sessions, and yep, these people have been getting a fucking earful because Hawaiians know what the fuck time it is. Okay, out of all of in America's immediate sphere of influence, right? I'm talking Turtle Island, the continental United States. Then I'm thinking Alaska. Then I'm thinking Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands. And Hawaii. And out of those, isn't Hawaii like the most recent colony? Did Hawaii became a state after Alaska, right? Right. So the Hawaiian people are like them, our brothers and sisters in Guam and American Samoa, like all of them, the Pacific Islanders, like those are kind of like the most recent colonized people in the history of the United States. Is that accurate or inaccurate? Would y'all agree or disagree with that? Right. So, they feel that sting way more acutely, right? Because they grandmama and grandpapa or great grandmama can remember when the fucking Marines came to the island and established the Schofield Barracks in 1908, right? The Marine training barracks. Like, anyway, these folks know what time it is. So anyway, without further ado, let's listen to the Hawaiian folks give their testimony as to why the United States military needs to pack its shit and get the fuck off the islands.
The U.S. military is the greatest debt to life to the people of Hawaii. No other nation on earth has stolen our land, poisoned our water, and displaced our people at gunpoint. Only you. Only the United States of America. And now you ask us, a population driven into poverty as a result of your policies, are our opinion on the renewal of a lease on land that you stole, that you bombed, that you poisoned, and that you refused to pay for the lease of. In honor of Rohana and White and I last night, I ask everyone in this room to stand up if you're against the renewal of this lease. Aloha Aina. Aloha Aina. Aloha Aina. I love you, Uncle Kawa. The only conversation we should be having tonight is to set the timeline for the deoccupation of Kahuku and to ensure there's a budget created to ensure that every bullet fired and every bomb exploded in this region is cleaned up. You stand here tonight as the representative of a commander-in-chief that is actively committing genocide in the world. The only important thing for you guys to do is to look in the mirror, find your values, and turn in your uniforms. And make sure that you clean up on your way home. Oni papakako.
Run that next one right behind it, Will. Another brother.
I give this gift to the general. That was my testimony. Aloha mai kako. My name is Dismantling Manaole. Aloha aina mau mau. Aloha aina mau mau. I am not American. I will never be an American. So I just want to say this to you guys. Now, I had a prepared speech. I was going to read the last part of my testimony, but I let the brother read them. Here's the deal. If I came to your home and I threw a dirty bomb in your house, you wanted to sell it to you, like sell them to Don, what would be the value to Don to buy your house with a dirty bomb in your yard? What would be the value? You know, there's a woman that just bought a house, a land up on a big island. Big news all over the world. Somebody will make, mistake, build one house on top of her lot. She bought that, I talked to her, she bought that property for the sanctuary that it was because it was a native place. But when they put the house on top there, it was no value to her now. You destroyed the land. And to have the nerve of them to say, oh, you gotta pay us now, or give us the land. For the people that perpetrated the wrong over there. These people are criminals just like me. I was a criminal. I did 28 years in the prison system. How much would it be for me to tell my victims what value I'm going to give back to them for what I stole from them? I cannot do that. You would all laugh at me if I gave you a value for what I stole from you. So what value do they have for what they stole from us? We got to end this. You can either continue to be collaborators with them, or you can come and join us and say, no more, we're going to continue business as usual. There is no value for a land destroyed. We want the land back, yes, but not at the expense of us. This is our lands. They belong to us. Give them back. Stop playing games. This is just another delay tactic to continue to stress this out to the end.
Yep.
Don't worry. You know, I love you, dog. Every time I call, you come, so I appreciate you. Aloha.
Put a dirty bomb in her house, not mine.
Well, do me a favor. Go ahead and get that YouTube video queued up. Guys, if you guys don't mind, like I do want to play like really like straight off the YouTube a couple of more testimonials from these hearings, because I'm very struck at, you know, the knowledge of not only the history of what the US military and government has done to the Hawaiian people, but like their memories are way long and very sharp. Like the details, like, I mean, obviously we have a range of folks coming up to testify, from the, you know, extremely articulate and educated to those that can just very plainly say what their families have experienced from their health complications as a result of being exposed to these long-term effects of these munitions from all of this war games and testing that the military has done. And just for the record, just so I can state this, and y'all already know this shit, I'm gonna say it anyway. One of the biggest drivers of global pollution is war, our bombs, our bullets, our munitions, right? In addition to the horrific genocide and destruction of the Palestinian culture that's happening in Gaza at the behest of the United States, the environmental catastrophes that are going to remain there once the bombs eventually do stop falling, it's going to be enormous and almost incalculable, right? And the Hawaiian people know this, right? Because all the shit that the United States exports in terms of its war, it tested first on their lands, right? So anyway, so go ahead and cue up, Will, that video. Throw me down in a corner and bring that Joan up on the main screen. And let's start at that time code, because these people got up and testified over a number of days this week. For I think these videos are like 4 hours long, and every time I just randomly clicked on a point during the video and listened to the testimony of somebody, it was always brilliant, it was always astute. And I said, well, goddamn, everybody came to the public comment session very well prepared. So I have one that I time coded, but we might just we might just click around and find another one. But let's go with this one right here, Will. Let's listen to this Hawaiian letting the US Army know why they do not want the land lease to be extended beyond 2029 and why the US military needs to go altogether.
Aloha ahi ahi kako. O vau o cross makani crab no wa enai mai au. He puao o ke ia wahino holike o ka poe o Hawaii. Aloha, my name is Cross Makani Crab, born and raised in Waianae, and I'm here to testify against the renewing of military leases. I would like to share an olelo no eau, or Hawaiian proverb, ho'iho ike ehu mehemoila, returns to the broiling sea like a moi fish, which means people who leave home to get better skills eventually come back. Let me stress, you're not talking to dummies over here, okay? Or degenerates. There are people here, including myself, who have left our home to become more educated, and there are those who have educated themselves from the resources here. And we all gather here today to speak our truth. Our truth is that we have suffered enough. We have suffered enough. For the second draft of your EIS on page 445, section 5, page 27, lines 11 through 14, under unavoidable significant adverse impacts, specifically cultural impacts. You folks state, a large new lease would sustain feelings of emotional and psychological distress, as well as an ongoing perception of that their traditional and culturally important land is under an unjust military occupation. This is not just a perception, this is a reality. This is our reality. The military was used to steal our land, our language, and culture. In fact, we are blessed that those before us fought so we could voice our opinions here tonight without fear of being shot or imprisoned. I want to feel bad for you folks having to deal with all of this. I really do, but I cannot. Your institution did this to itself. And it's a legacy that you folks are going to have to decide if you'll be on the right side of history or not. Give the land back and clean up your mess. I call my Uncle Israel Kamakavivo Ole into this space when I say, from West Makaha to Mount Ka'ala, Eola Makua.
Mahalo. Mahalo nui. 125.
Let's listen to one more.
Aloha mai kako. Aloha. Aloha, Colonel Steve. Colonel Steve, right on. O mai kapo I hilani ko uinoa no kalihi mai au a ka no hoau I alia pa'akai. Maka au au Red Hill. Aloha. My name is Mai, and I'm originally from Kalihi, far, far away that side, just so you know. It took a lot of effort to come here tonight, but as Papa and Oahualua gave birth to this island, Oahu, what happens on one side of the island affects us all. And you need to know that. There are thousands of us on the other side of the island who couldn't be here tonight. So we bring this message together in solidarity to you. I am married to an active duty service member. Our family was poisoned by Red Hill, and we're still being poisoned. So I know intimately of the distrust by the military, and I know it has to stop. But I'm going to focus on the land that is rightfully ours, that needs to be given back. I am in opposition to extending the lease for the military. Because I told my husband, I'm a Kanaka Maoli first. I just happen to be married to you. He Hawaiian maua mau. I am Hawaiian now and forever. And I noticed that those 3 parcels of land do not house a single service member or family. I didn't know that there were over 120,000 military service members and their families living on this island alone. According to Uncle, that's more Kanaka Maoli on this island, right? Military represent 11% and Kanaka Maoli is only what, 11, 12? That's got to change. And did you also know that the military make up 20% of the real estate investments in Hawaii? There are way too many military service members here. These areas do not house military service members. The military is unsustainable on our islands. They need to give us back the land, and some of them need to leave. And if it happens in my lifetime, I will be the first one in line with my ohana and my active duty service member to PC us out of here if they tell us for go. Because I know my family will be back. I have kuleana here. But I know it is a pono thing to do to send some military members away. And that is what should happen. Give us back our land, clean it up. Actually, let us clean it up. We'll do a better job. Mahalo.
Mahalo nui.
Okay. That's good, Will. And it's 4.5 hours of a lot of that, a lot of reading down to the U.S. Army representatives that were there, to listen to the public commentary from the folks. And, keep in mind, I mean, how Hawaii is under military occupation. Like, make no mistake about it. I guess America made it a state, so the people couldn't say, well, you're not occupied, you guys are citizens. See, citizens, like these darkies, like the rest of the like the blacks over here. See, don't they look happy on the mainland? Don't they look happy? Well, y'all can be happy like that. We'll just make you citizens. You're not under military occupation. Bullshit. Listening to the statistics of that person giving testimony, given the amount of real estate investments, not only by the U.S. military outright, but by its service members who either end up staying there or come back to Hawaii and they purchase land. And it's like, it's just more foreign, even though it's American, but to the Hawaiians, the Americans are invaders. I appreciate the other brother in the comment saying that, I'm Hawaiian, I'm not American, and I will never be American. And guys, that is actually the spirit that all of us, especially if you are not white out here, you know what I'm saying? The whites historically in America have made it a point to otherize everyone non-white. Even, I know they otherize themselves. They otherize the Italians. They otherize the Irish. Yes. But eventually the Italians and the Irish got their whiteness and they good, right? So they good. But for everybody else that is visibly non-white, oh no. We need to abandon the moniker of American. And and even though I refer to myself as American only by nationality and just by the reason that this is just the place that I just happen to be born. That's why I am an American and will self-refer to as such. But that's just out of laziness and convenience. That's not because I feel particularly American or feel any sort of patriotism or any allegiance to this country in any way. And that is how all non-white people need to be feeling out here. Like, stop pledging your allegiance to a country that continues to do what it can to decimate our communities, that does what it can to undercut us in every opportunity, every chance that non-white people try to advance up the ladder of assimilation into full American identity. The country itself will remind us that no, you are not, right? And let the Hawaiians lead us on this. Number one, I appreciate the way that all the Hawaiian, folks that came up and testified, first gave their comments and introduced themselves in Hawaiian. Don't you guys wish? I wish I had that sort of direct tie to my non-American heritage and culture, that I could come up and address anybody in whatever my original native language was. Like, what a privilege, what a gift Hawaiians have, that they have been able to maintain so much of their culture and are fierce and dogged about maintaining that. So I appreciate that. But make clear, you guys, this is a land back issue, just as it is for our Indigenous brothers and sisters in this country, the First Nations brothers and sisters in Canada, Hawaii, same way. And let us add this to all of the list of places where we need to kick out the U.S. military and its apparatuses off of people's land. As much as the fights against the cop cities are ramping up, rightfully so, because the construction of the cop cities are ramping up, the U.S. military is just the biggest cop city, right? A military base is just, the patriarch, the granddaddy, the big papa of a cop city. And the Hawaiians have been feeling this for generations at this point. So pay attention to this fight, everybody. The lease for the U.S. Army is up on this land in 2029. And this is just the beginning. I mean, first of all, Hawaiians have been resisting for a very, very long time. And I want to look more into the Red Hill poisoning, because I think I've heard of it before. It has to do with the drinking water, if I'm not mistaken. So thanks. I'm going to put a pin in that, because I do want to look into that environmental justice issue way more deeply and find out what really happened there. But in the interim, y'all, it's not just a black fight. It's not just a Palestinian fight out here. It's not just, a First Nations people fight. We all getting oppressed. We all getting marginalized. We're all being poisoned in the name of democracy. I'm sorry. Do these Native Hawaiians, going back to one of our recurring rhetorical questions here, I'm sorry. Do you think Hawaiians ever think that they have ever had democracy ever since the crackers invaded in the late 1800s? You think people who are of original Hawaiian descent, you think these people have ever experienced democracy? You think that the democracy that Joe Biden talks about us fighting for, us trying to wrestle democracy away from Trump and make sure it stays in, quote, democratic hands, while the people of Oahu and the other islands have been poisoned, have had their lands poisoned, their water poisoned? Is that the democracy that I'm supposed to be fighting for? Is that the democracy I'm supposed to be voting for Joe Biden for? So the U.S. Army can continue to poison folks for $1? What? No, miss me. This ain't democracy, beloveds. If you were non-white and woman and gay, guess what? You never had it. Never been yours. Never felt it. Never experienced it. And this ain't the democracy that I'm willing to fight to preserve, especially in the name of Joe fucking Biden. You must be out your rabbit ass mind. Anyway, land back. Guys, I'm gone. What time is it? Oh, it's 9:12. Will's over there cussing me out. Well, come on here. I saw people running some money, running some memberships. I saw a blue box. I don't even know what the blue box mean. What the blue box mean?
Yes, Sith Lord. Hold on. Get that
What's up?
right. Sith Lord Prince. Shout out to homie.
Nigga, you gotta read.
ran
Nigga,
up.
you just come on here doing shout outs.
Hold
The
on.
people be putting comments and shit.
We finished, Leo. Chill, son. Sith Lord, you gonna ask me do a job and then not let me do it. Dang. Sith Lord Prince, shout out to the king. Nah, he said, thanks, Kim. I appreciate you. And ran us some bucks. So we appreciate you.
I don't even know what this motion is. I just did it and it looked weird. I said, let me stop doing that. let me not do that again. That didn't look right. Thank you, Sith Lord Prince. Disregard my motion. It didn't mean anything, but
that was it though.
No,
Right now,
I saw a blue box. I saw niggas in a blue box. Niggas in a blue box came up. I seen it. It's like a 27-inch Zenith. Believe it. So, guys, my next project that I'm working on is I am going to spit a whole Ghostface Killer verse just for y'all. It's been so long. I cannot. Ghostface and Raekwon are the two rappers I find the hardest. Like I cannot keep up with these niggas' flow at all. Dog, I can spit y'all Black Thought, okay? And I think Thought is one of the greatest MCs maybe ever, right? I can't even keep up with Ghost and Ray, son. It's been 30 fucking years and I still can't keep up with Ghost and Ray. I cannot keep up with Ghost and Ray. Them niggas is awesome. So I'm gonna work on that. Y'all might get a Nutmeg verse. Y'all might get an Apollo Kids verse. I'm working on that shit. That's the shit I work on, right? I work on reciting rap lyrics, y'all. It's a project. We working on this. So anyway, nobody else.
That was it.
Chat is Will line.
She do not let me do my job, yo. Okay, one person just sent us some bucks. Relax, calm your draws. Commute it. Hey, shout out. Hey, how are you doing? Hope you're well, Commuted. Thank you for running us the bucks.
Thank you, Commuted.
And that was it. You guys have a great night.
Hold on, Will. Say job again. You've been in Baltimore too long. Say it again.
Yo, you hating, shorty.
You sound like you've been living in Baltimore for the last 10 years, RVA nigga. You picking up the Baltimore accent. You call everybody yo and everything. Say job again. Say job.
Nope.
Okay, fine. I'm leaving Will alone. Kids, I'm gonna leave y'all alone too. I want to thank you guys so much for coming through tonight. Please give us a thumbs up on your way out the door, please. And thank you. If you want to support us, you can do that. BIDWKB. That's us on Cash App. That's us on Venmo. PayPal.me/BIDWKB. Patreon.com/BIDWKB. Alicia, thank you so much for your Cash App support, beloved. I love you so much. All my nieces and nephews, my mods. What's up, Courtney? What's up, Latif? What's up, Tyler? Oh, Will, we got to make some new mods. So who do I want to be a mod? We're going to make Franny Francais a mod. Even though Franny, did your work schedule change up? Can you be here? But don't change your work schedule to mod, Franny. I know you. Franny would be like, no. I will work mornings so I can mod it. Now, don't do that, Franny. Anyway, we're gonna add some more moderators. So if you know what the fuck you doing, if you know how to push the buttons around here, say that you want to be a mod. Shit. No, Will. Now, what is that? The box. What I see? That's the box I seen earlier. What's that? What am I looking at?
Why come to your job and knock the broom out your hand? Nope. Nah, Anna Hart, land back. Solidarity with the Hawaiians. Thank you for the story, Kim. And well, thank you, Anna Hart. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Anna. We love you, Anna. Join me, Anna, Mama Lorraine, Learn Life, Abby tomorrow for the Around the Fire Disability Support Sesh every second Saturday. 5 p.m. Eastern. Look for the link in the community section of the channel, and it will also be posted on Patreon as well. Thank you so much to Will and Molly for all that you do and keeping us moving around here in Fire Fam. Thank you guys for all that you do. Thank you all so much, and we'll see y'all back here on Tuesday. Go follow and subscribe Black Liberation Media as well. Shout out to the remixers. Love you guys. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Be safe out here. It's